What it do, homies? We out with some new DizzyEight. This time we are checking out his Whitebeard inspired rap song, Stand Up. And it looks like it's just him on the track. Let's see, edited and everything. Got him. Yeah, it looks like it's just a solo track, which we love. Now, we all know what Whitebeard stands for. You know what I'm saying? 100% a family man. You come for him, it might be the end of you. You know what I mean? It just might. Let's go ahead, shut up and turn it up. That's the horns of retribution right there. The beat about to go crazy already know.
What do you do when you push to the brink and your ship is beginning to sink? Do what you can and you do what you can't. We call that leaning no faith. We ain't running with that, ain't no running away. We just go pick up the pace. The journey I learn to embrace. That's how I learn to be great, okay. Even when it's...
Nah, he said a lot right there. He really did. Essentially, when you at the edge, you know what I'm saying? Somebody push you off that edge, what you gonna do to get back up there? And that right there is gonna be the foundation of how, pretty much how you live your life, how you tackle things, because that's all life is. You know, it's a whole lot of errors and a couple of wins, but eventually that experience rack up and you start having the foresight as to turn those errors into wins. But you got to go through it. You can't be scared of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to push past it. You got to learn how to embrace the suck. So whenever you got these idols that you like to look up to and you wonder, dang, man, they just making all the right moves. They doing everything good. Everything sounds great. I love their work. You got to think about the stuff that they've been through before. And then think about what you're going through before, right? Is there something that is there a goal that you have right now? You need to identify what is getting in the way of that, right? Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's complicated. Sometimes it's ourselves that's getting in our own way. You know what I mean? It kind of just all boils down to self-discipline, which is the ability to do what you should do when you should do it. That's essentially a good chunk of it. But yeah.
The journey I learn to embrace.
A fake too.
That's how I learn to be great, okay. Even when it's hard, you gotta stand your ground. I ain't never really learned how to retreat. Even when the world is trying to bring you down, I stand up and get right back on my feet. Yeah, weight on my back, but he carrying. I know people that wanna come bury us. I ain't worried them words he burying. Even me know we punch out the perilous. Got the enemies shook, they the scariest. Got them saying they with us hilarious. But I see what you plotting, that's scary. You didn't know he got me cracking codes with this flow like when it's an algorithm. God gave me the Call of Duty, so I Activision. The crew with me, yeah, me like.
God gave me, he said, ooh, see, bro, he just said, what's an algorithm, right? What's the numbers and everything? He said, God gonna move him forward regardless. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no numbers, ain't no system gonna stand in the way. This is something that's bigger than you. That Activision with, come on, bro, barring out.
I'm saying they with us hilarious, but I see what you plotting, that's scary. You didn't know he got me cracking codes with this flow like when it's an algorithm. God gave me the Call of Duty, so I Activision. The crew with me, yeah, we lack division. Man, we unified, they got no fraction in it. Popping out, he got the Activision. The crew with me, yeah, we lack division. Man, we unified.
I like that. That's powerful. The crew is with me and we lack division. Unity, we all of the same mind. I like that, guys. This is a Whitebeard inspired song, right? So wow, he is just some people forget that, like, Whitebeard ain't never did that Activision, you know what I mean? Whitebeard inspired, which means he's using the story of Whitebeard, right, to talk about his life, for the most part, Dizzy's life, right? Now I don't want people to kind of lose sight of that. I know that nerdcore, I know popular belief is that we are rapping as if we are the character, and most of the time that is correct. But in this case, DizzyEight is rapping as himself, right? And then using, elements from Whitebeard's story, right? He's seeing himself. So that might be DizzyEight we looking at causing all these tremors and everything, right? You see Whitebeard's face now, that's Dizzy right there wielding the pole right there, okay?
Crew with me, yeah, we lack division. Man, we unified, they got no fraction in it. Popping out, he got the faction with him. God back the pack, they got him mad and bitter. Many conquer graves. You don't have to dig it, many making waves. Earthquakes make the world shake. This is not a tremor, this a game shift. Impact to make the world break. Like hockey, know he whore body with a war face. When y'all hating out our poor taste, I just stand tall. That's what happens when you train your core weight and during more ways. Like, what do you do when you push to the brink and your ship is beginning to sink? Do what you can and you do what you can't. We call that leaning no faith. We ain't running with that, ain't no running away. We just go pick up the pace. The journey I learn to embrace. That's how I learn to be great, okay. Even when it's hard, you gotta stand your ground.
Yeah, this going on the playlist
really
for sure.
How to retreat. Even when the world is trying to bring you down. feet on the pavement. When it come to my faith, boy, I'm shameless. And they hate how I'm quick to go praise him. I don't care, you gon' know what his name is. I don't speak on these beats to be famous. And really my work can go nameless. More concerned for whoever he changing through me. Like, dog, I know I'm...
That's facts. That's 100% facts. He said he don't care, bro. He don't care about the, care about how the numbers are going, right? It's just faith. There's no putting, you're doing God's work. So, it can't be wrong. It just can't be wrong, right? Yeah, I'm praising the Lord in these songs. I can't go wrong. So I'm just going to put it out there, right? I'm going to reach some people, I'm going to change some lives. I love that. Dizzy probably gets a lot of emails and stuff like that, I imagine, of people's lives he changed for this music. That's got to be some of the best feeling ever, to know that, the work that you're doing has an impact on somebody's life. It really gives meaning, and it can get you motivated as well to continue doing it. But, it's difficult to get in there, get up there, especially in these days, right, where there's like a lack of love and an increased amount of selflessness that's going on. Most people ain't trying to hear about that. They ain't trying to hear about God or something like that. So if you an artist, I guess it just really just boils down to, just the reason for you making music, because a lot of these artists will tell you that, if you trying to make music just for the sake of money and everything, then you're going to fail. You know what I mean? But, DizzyEight approaches it from a more religious standpoint, and, a religious standpoint is just faith, right? It may not work. No, it may not work. God got me. I'm gonna put it out there. It's just that simple. It really is. So, but I like that.
I don't care, you gon' know what his name is. I don't speak on these beats to be famous. And really my work can go nameless. More concerned for whoever he changing through me. Like, dog, I know I'm great, but I don't need a title. No competition, I don't need a rival. I got little homies really living dead. They don't need an idol, many need revival. So I sacrifice it, that's gonna give them life. When the church hurt, then it's not Christ. That's the devil's work, that was never right. If he not first, then it's not light. Look, I stand with you and I stand for you. I'm Christ-centered, not brand loyal. I'm trying to be the one that push you forward, not be the one to make you recoil.
He said, I'm Christ-centered. And then he said, I'm not brand loyal, right? So that means so Christ-centered means that if he was with a brand, if the brand is moving wrong, I gotta go, right? Christ-centered. So everything revolves around Christ. I like that.
Christ-centered, not brand loyal. I'm trying to be the one that push you forward, not be the one to make you recoil. I see you like family. Thank Whitebeard and his whole fleet. My only goal is to make sure y'all all make it out in one piece. Like, what are you doing? You push to the brink, and your ship is beginning to sink. Do what you can and do what you can't. We call that living on faith. We ain't running with that, ain't no running away. We just go pick up the pace. The journey I learn to embrace. That's how I learn to be great. Okay. Even when it's hard, you gotta stand your ground. I ain't never really learned how to retreat. Even when the world is trying to bring you down, I stand up and get right back on my feet. Right back on my feet. Right back on my feet. Right back on my,
10 toes down.
right back on my feet.
Right back on my feet. Right back on my feet. DizzyEight. So, we pretty much limit the type of music that our kids, my kids are exposed to. They're for the most part, listening, your typical kind of like children music and whatnot, but we keep Christian music and everything. That's probably the bulk of what they're listening to and everything. And me and my wife was trying to find like some type of like Christ-centered hip-hop type stuff and everything. And I showed my wife some of your music, DizzyEight, and she agrees. We be bumping. The family do. We do. And I'm gonna show my kids this song, and it's just the most adorable thing. You know what I'm saying? If I get them to start singing the chorus, because they 5 and 3, right? So they're in their adorable. It's an adorable stage, especially when they start singing and everything. So I can't wait to show them this song so we could both be singing right back my feet. Me, my 3-year-old daughter, right? She'll be like, right there, my feet. She don't know what she's saying, but it'd be adorable. But we be vibing. We be vibing to your music. So I just want to let you know that. Let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments. Dave's out.